In the 1940s, he led an Islamic movement in the north of the country in opposition to British rule. The Malam Aminu Kano International Airport and the Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital, both in Kano, Kano State, are named after him.
Did you know?
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 Did you know? Did you know?
Did you know?
This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Like the popular belief, the side of the bed you wake up on can affect your mood all through the day. But not just that. The kind of information you're exposed to can not only affect your mood, but also your opinion throughout the day. Start your day the right way. Listen to the Morning Crossfire with Wemimo and Sheriff. Get the headline, hot news, latest developments both locally and internationally. Right here on the Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
This is a Morning Crossfire 99.3 Nigeria Info. We apologize for some minutes behind schedule, but we're here and we're here to talk about the state of our Nigerian roads and the safety of road users. We're looking at the high number of road crashes that we've had and how we can, stop this and, of course, prevent the loss of lives and property. You're welcome to the Morning Crossfire 99.3 Nigeria Info. I'm Wemimo Adewuni.
And I'm Sheriff Quadry. It's a pleasure to have you join us live on air, online. If you're not online, please join us on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info FM at Nigeria. Just search us on Facebook and search us on YouTube as well. We're live on those platforms. We'll be able to take your messages and your thoughts on those platforms as well. You can also send us your WhatsApp messages via our WhatsApp number 0809 597 5805. That is 0809 597 5805.
Yes, it's a full hour conversation up till 9. Road traffic accident is a leading cause of injury-related deaths worldwide. Public health experts from around the world say there is a global epidemic of road traffic accidents that people are not paying attention to. Road traffic accident is Nigeria's third leading cause of overall death, the leading cause of trauma-related death, and the most common cause of disability. The FRSC, in its report on road traffic crash for December 2018 for January and February 2019, shows that over 21,500 people were involved in road crashes involving cars, minibuses, motorcycles, trucks, tankers, and trailers. At least about 1,618 people have lost their lives through road accidents between December 2018 and February 2019. The FRSC also disclosed that 370 children died in road traffic crashes in Nigeria in 2018. Now, this is why we're having this conversation today on the show, and we have joining us Route Commander Paul Abiti, as the Unit Protocol Officer, RS214 Lagos Island Unit Command, FRSC. Good to have you join us here, sir.
Thank you, Wemimo, this morning.
Good morning. So if you're watching us live, where you can see us on Facebook, you can also watch us on YouTube. We're live there. You can leave us your comment also on our WhatsApp line. It's 08095975805.
Mr. Paul Abiti, very quickly, let's start with this. Yes, we see road crashes every now and again. Lives are being lost. I mean, these figures are quite scary. Over 300 children being killed, over 1,000 lives being lost, 27,000 road crashes in just 3 months. Those are ugly figures. Please tell us, what are the causes of road traffic accidents?
Yeah, thank you very much this morning. It's a pleasure being here. Paul Abiti is my name. Once again, I want to say that road traffic crashes is actually comfortable with it, and I want to say that majorly we need to streamline these causes into four, and we have the human factors.
Okay.
You have the mechanical, the environmental, and the engineering factor.
Oh, wow.
But however, majorly the human factor is a major, leading causes of road traffic crashes. Human factor, and over the years since the establishment of FRSC, February 1988, I want to say that these numbers do increase from year to year. But however, when you look at the number of vehicles then and now, you can see that it's exponential increased when it comes to the number of vehicles, and the more vehicle, the more problem to solve. So we are up to the task, and the State Commander, Lagos State Corps Commander Ajonas Omeje, from time to time have been discussing with stakeholders on this, and we want to assure Lagosians and Nigeria in general that definitely we are going to tackle this.
Tell us about the human factor that you mentioned. Break it down for us. What are these human factors? Yes.
Thank you very much. When we talk about human factor, we talk about number one, speeding. Speeding. We want to concentrate on speeding. Last year, we introduced what we call the speed limit device, to curtail, the overspeeding of our drivers on the highway, because we felt that we may not be able to tackle them when it comes to physical, and that's why we introduced what we call that speed limit device, and we work in conjunction with the SON and the National Automotive Council, and so overspeeding is a major factor. Is a human factor.
Okay.
Is a human factor, and today the law gives the maximum, speed limit of 100.
Okay.
Maximum.
Now, let's talk about that speeding limit device. I remember when the FRC introduced this, there was largely kickback from the people, especially on the time frame before the implementation would begin. So since the introduction of the speed limit device, how has it worked out? Have people warmed up to the idea? Is it enforced? Is it made compulsory? For which kind of drivers is this device compulsory?
Yes, actually it's made compulsory because we are guided by the law, and so it's basically we're concentrating on commercial fleets. Commercial fleets. We are receiving cooperation from organizations, fleets, companies that have fleet of vehicles, even individuals that have vehicles, the public or commercial purpose. So since that time, we've been having kind of a cooperation from the public, but it's not enough. If
you say it's compulsory, does it mean then that every commercial vehicle in Lagos has this speed limit device?
No.
If I get on the bus, I can be sure that
not all for now, and that's why the enforcement is still ongoing.
Okay.
The enforcement is ongoing, and so naturally as human beings, we don't enforce certain things, it will not come to pass.
That's
and
right.
so FRSA, we are enforcing continuous one, and we don't want to turn back from that, because it's one of the way to curtail accident.
A lot of people will fault your enforcement because you said FRSC is enforcing it, but most commercial buses plying our roads don't have speed limiter, fixed, installed on their vehicles. And you're saying you're enforcing.
When it comes to enforcement, there's no how we can get it at a go. And 100 might start from a step. Want to take a step of 1,000, you have to step from where? From one. So since that pronunciation, the enforcement is ongoing. It's going to be an ongoing enforcement.
Okay.
Yeah. I see that in January this year, FRSA also made an announcement of plans to begin enforcing this speed limit device for private vehicles. What would this mean? So if I have a car, I need to have a speed limit device. And okay, let's answer this first before I baggage you.
The law actually it has to do with vehicle generally, but the FRSA management using their discretion, to start from the commercial fleet, and the commercial fleet, they are involved with more when it comes to passengers movement. They are more involving, and that's why we are starting with the commercial fleets. Now, the commercial with the management, we have been trying to collaborate with the Automotive Council such that even vehicle coming into Nigeria, now they will be fixed. The speed will be fixed, already fixed. They are coming in.
Okay.
The for the commercial, for the private, we are not for enforcing it for now.
Why?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, as I'm aware, for the private, we advise them to to do that. The full enforcement on that is we have not started that.
Again, let me ask you how this speed limit device works. So there are different speed limits for different roads. I mean, if I'm driving within the town, it's different from if I'm on the highway.
All right.
So how does this work? This speed limiting device. Number one, who sells them? I hope it's not FRSC. I'm not buying it from FRSC.
No,
and how does
we have vendors, about 60 or maybe about 80 vendors nationwide.
Okay.
They are vendors. They are on their own. You know, they are the vendors.
Are they independent vendors,
They are
or are they in any way linked to FRSC? Are they paying you any commissions for these devices?
They are not paying any commission. They are private vendors, and I've said earlier on that technology is we work in collaboration with the SON.
Okay.
You know, the Nigerian Society of Engineers and the National Automobile Council. We are not doing it alone.
Okay.
It's a kind of collaborative venture. So that's in terms of the introduction of the that printing device.
Okay.
But the vendors, they are autonomous.
Okay.
They are autonomous.
So these are just business people who
Yes,
decide to start the business selling speed limit devices.
Exactly. So what we do is just to monitor that what they are selling to the vehicle owners, they are okay.
Okay.
All right. That's what we do. They are private vendors. They don't have any commission.
So how do you
to
configure this speed limiter, like Wemimo was asking, for internal roads and highways? Who configures it?
No, you know, this is a technical device.
Okay.
And so to each of the vendors, they have their own technical team. So
Okay.
what they do is that if any particular Nigerian driver or vehicle owner want to do that, you just contact them. We have their numbers with the SON, the Standard Organization of Nigeria, and the FRSC website. They can claim to any of them. Then once they do that, the technical team will go to probably that particular company and then do the installation. So what we are saying that for the depending, for example, for truck, you know, on the express, it should not be more than 80 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
We have the truck. No, so it's 70 precisely.
Because I was even going to say it's 80.
No,
it's
sorry. It's 70. It's 65, 70. That's for truck. But for bus, on the express,
Okay.
you know, it does 90 kilometers. They will configure it to that maximum speed, such that such a vehicle will not be able to move more than that.
Okay.
You know, that's what is being done.
Well, this is a period where students have gone on holiday. This is when parents travel. This is when you find mass movement on the roads. People going back to the villages for the summer.
The holidays.
Or we call summer.
All right.
The holidays. So are you saying that I can safely say, if I go to a bus park in Lagos, for instance, and any of these, you know, popular fleet of cars that do the interstate shuttles, I can be rest assured that they have speed limit devices on their buses?
All right.
Am I assured of this?
No, you can be assured. But then, you know, you as individual, they can ask questions. If
Okay.
you are not convinced enough, if they have the speed limit device, you enter any of the parks. You can ask questions before you bought such a bus. But we can assure you that the enforcement is ongoing when it comes to speed limit device.
I'm glad that we've dealt with, overspeeding and speeding generally. Let's move on to another angle of human factor that you mentioned, because you mentioned that human factor is a chief cause of road crashes. You said that in your opening statement.
Yes.
And another human factor area we want to look at, I'm thinking we can look at, is driving under the influence.
Under the influence, yes.
That's right. So you go to our motor parks and you see Baraga sellers, to borrow local parlance.
Actually, this is disturbing. Actually, when it comes
And
to
laws have been made to say this is how far you should stay away from bus parks. But no. In fact, I've seen a BRT bus driver in Lagos who, I mean, before he started the trip, took all these very small bottles.
That's right.
Drank it up and
it's
started
actually-
the bus.
It's disturbing because from time to time we visit parks.
It doesn't look like you do it from time to time,
Yeah.
because they are always there from that time to
do
time.
that. The truth of the matter is that when we leave, you see that the drivers, the park managers, they will still probably go back to doing that, which is very, very wrong. But what we do basically is part of our enforcement the techniques is to organize what we call the special patrol for that.
Okay.
And we use what we call the alcoholizer, to confirm them. Once we were to do that and they are found guilty, then, and such, we have to be.
I have never seen.
Okay.
I've never seen, and I drive every day. I've never seen an FRSC patrol van using a breathalyzer on a commercial bus owner, or any car driver, or any road user at all.
Okay,
have we just missed them? We've not been driving on their routes, maybe.
No, the truth of it's a large environment. Probably you have not really witnessed that.
Exactly.
They call us. People will call us shortly.
Maybe it's just me.
And tell us if you've ever been, stopped by an FRSC official and you've been tested for alcohol.
Maybe by the time you throw it open, you may have one or two. But that's one of the things we do. But we try to sensitize them on this, and the drug issue, we try to work with the drug that's the National Drug Enforcement Agency, because we believe all this cannot be done alone.
That's right.
And of course, some of this enforcement, we don't use force. You cannot get it done, and we know that we are not harmed, and so.
Do you want to be harmed?
Definitely, there's an enabling law that guides FRSC, and we have been, there's the power for us to carry arms. But the management of the FRSC is still looking when to do that. Already, there's an enabling law for that.
Let's talk about that law. So, what would happen if the FRSC has arms? I mean, in the first place, going to the parks and talking to them and, enforcing these laws is virtually not working.
And you have said that force cannot work.
Yes, it's not working. If you then carry arms, what would happen?
No, the arms is not actually meant for that. For this, when you talk about education and enlightenment, the arms will not be there.
What kind of arms are we talking about, by the way?
Arms, of course, arms generally has to do with protection.
Guns.
Yes.
Firearms.
Of course.
So if FRSC officials carry firearms, what would happen?
We are paramilitary. We are doing anything on enforcement. There's somehow you can work more effectively. We can do without that. So I don't want us to talk more on that.
No, we will talk. We will talk more about it
because give you more answers to that.
This is why we're talking about it.
Okay.
Already, Nigerians have great distrust for the police because of the misuse of arms and, of course, superior, power. So, if the FRSC also in a bid to maybe stop vehicles, we've had issues where the police, for instance, would shoot at drivers, at top speed, kill the driver. Of course, that's crash. The all, passengers in the bus could die. So if the FRS also bears arms, is this arm to help you stop the driver, or what exactly would you be doing with guns on the roads?
I wouldn't want us to mix up our core values, the different ball game. So for that question, I want to peg it from there so that we can continue from there.
You're saying no comment on that one?
I don't want to talk more on that because it's a policy.
Let's go on a break now.
We should.
I am sure I can bet my last dollar on this that our callers will go back on this conversation. But let's go on our first break now. We're live on Facebook and Twitter at Nigeria Info FM, and we're talking about safety on the road crashes. Huge number of people who die on the road yearly in Nigeria. It's pretty alarming, and we have with us in the studio talking about this today Route Commander Paul Abiti is a unit protocol officer, RS214, Lagos Island Unit Command of the FRSC. When we come back, more conversation. We'll take your calls and also read your comments on Facebook, Twitter, and also on WhatsApp 08095975805. I'm Wemimo Adewuni.
And I'm Sheriff Quadry.
We'll be back shortly.
And information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
Now we're back on the morning Crossfire.
And we're right back on the Morning Crossfire 99.3 Nigeria Info. Thank you for being there. And if you're just joining us, you just missed 30 minutes of our conversation on the 1 hour Morning Crossfire. But you're in time for the next half. We have in the studio with us Route Commander Paul Abiti. Is a Unit Protocol Officer, RS214, Lagos Island Unit Command of the FRSC, and he's here talking to us about the state of our roads, of course, and particularly safety of road users. We have statistics here, staggering statistics about the number of Nigerians who die in road crashes yearly. More alarming, 370 children died in road traffic crashes in Nigeria in 2017. And in just 3 months, about 21,577 in this report by the FRSC. This is really alarming. You're welcome back. I'm Wemimo Adewuni.
And I'm Sheriff Quadry. Don't forget that you can join this conversation on our Facebook page and our YouTube page as well. We can see all the comments dropping there. We'll take the comments in a bit. You can also send us your message via our WhatsApp portal. The WhatsApp line is 0809 597 5805. That is 0809 597 5805. Mr. Paul, a lot of Nigerians
look at the phone lines.
Can't wait to have a go. They can't wait to have a go at you.
I can imagine. Let's talk about the driver's license. One of the ways you can check that, the age of a driver is important. In the first place, you shouldn't be driving if you're not 18 years old, which is why the FRSC would want to check that you have a valid driver's license, that you've been trained. But one big issue we've always had is many people who drive on the roads today were trained either by their spouses or by their siblings. You just go
or they don't just get trained,
or they just start driving.
They jump on the road.
I'm trying to renew my license, and I had these tests done. You do the eye test. I was even given written with the VIO. I was given written exam to
That's right.
a one-page thing. So how do you verify, really, especially for articulate vehicles? We find young guys driving trucks on the roads. Of course, they would be reckless, but how do we verify the age, the true age of the person driving, and if truly they've been trained to drive?
Is the information given to us we are going to work on.
Okay.
All right. If one is 18 years, of course, when you present the date of birth, we need to know that, okay, this person, is actually 18.
The birth certificate.
The birth certificate.
Okay.
But we're not asked for a birth certificate. I'm just told to state how old I am.
You mean from the VIS or?
No. Throughout the process.
What you did was a renewal.
Even when I got the first one, I did not present a birth certificate. I just filled a form and I said how old I am. So I could be any age I claim to be.
Okay, let me ask that question. Were you actually doing by one of the approved driving schools? Because the driving school will do that for you. It's one of the prerequisites from the primary school. You have to present your birth certificates as a fresher. And what we do to the driving school is to monitor their processes.
Okay.
So for fresh applicants, you're expected to submit all this information. You'll be trained
by a driving school.
That's the driving school. And we believe this is one of the ways. These are, when you go back to back years, these are some of the things our forefathers, when we started, driving. But then at a particular time, there was a problem. So we were trying to go back fully into that so that, because when we were to tackle that properly, the carnages naturally is going to reduce because we have a lot of drivers that are not, they don't have basic understanding of driving, on the highway today. So we will to start from the freshers, have that basic understanding. It's going to go a long way, to reducing, accident on our highways. And so with the, from the driving schools, the applicants is expected to go via the VILs and then the FRSC, the tripartite agreement.
Okay.
When it comes to, the issue of driver's license.
Okay.
We want to encourage freshers to, as much as possible, to visit the driving schools.
Okay.
It's going to go a long way,
Let's talk about, this figure, 370 children, over 370 children. lost to road crashes in a year. Can you tell us safety measures for parents out there? Because this needs to stop. We need to put a stop to it. How can parents protect their children when they're driving with them?
Thank you very much, Sheriff. FRC, we for the last 3 to 4 years, we've been working with the National Ministry of Education, and thank God they've agreed with us. And today we have in the curriculum, we have road safety subjects that have been infused.
Oh, nice.
Into subjects like civic education, technical science, and even English, social study.
Oh, great.
Such that, these children, as they are coming up, we have from Primary 1 to 6 and from GSS 1 to GSS 3. So the subjects, road safety subjects have been infused. So as they are moving from stage to stage, when I started primary school, I don't think I've ever seen something like that.
No way. No
I am very sure.
No way.
1980, 1980. So I want these children of nowadays, I want to say they are lucky with the management of their president, our president, Commercial, Dr. Bawi Oyemi, MFMNI. So Ministry of Education, that from federal, and then now from the states, each of the state school, especially in Lagos State here, they've been cooperating with us. And so we have what we call the youth safety education officers that monitors these subjects in schools. So from time to time, we do go and interact with the teachers, the principals, and the children. And so, and even the formation of the road safety club, the National Road Safety Club, and that was started this year now, early this year, the National Road Safety Club. So we want to ensure that all schools, they have what we call, the road safety clubs.
Let's talk about seat belts. I've always wondered that emphasis always has been on the driver's seat and the passenger in front. I wonder why we find it really hard to think that passengers at the back seat need to wear their seat belts. Some vehicles don't even have seat belts at the back anymore. I mean, we don't seem to think it's important. FRC does not even think, I don't believe you see it as important that passengers at the back seats need.
We see
well, you're not driving.
I don't think so.
You're not driving
I
this.
don't think so.
We see very important.
Because usually children sit at the back.
We see it very important. It's just that in terms of enforcement, we do concentrate on the driver and the passenger in the front. But what we normally advise is that the back seat is very, very important because the vehicle itself is a mechanical device. And so one of the safety measures, is our seat belts. Of course, we have the airbag, but the first thing is the seat belts.
That's right.
And then from the research, that seat belt saves 60% of when in case of any crash, it works 50% crash reduction. It doesn't prevent crash from happening, but when it happens, the seatbelt works.
It prevent fatalities.
Yes, 50%.
For children, I still find some parents, I don't know why they feel this is glamorous to put a child in the passenger seat in front. What's the FRC rule about this? How old should the child be before he sits in front?
Yes, we do enforcement on that, and I said earlier on that when we go to schools, what we intend to do is that, or what we're doing all the while, is to inculcate that safety consciousness in our children. I have my own kids and I drive. I'm a driver. Naturally, I observe that children always love to be in the front, and so because it's not safe for them, so what we advise is that if a child is not up to 13 years, it should not sit in the front because the seatbelt may not work for such a child. And so in case of any crash, the seatbelt, will definitely be a threat trap
to hold back
to start a child.
Yeah.
If a child is not up to 13 years, we don't expect such to sit down in the front.
13 years. That's what it is.
If not up to 13 years, you not sit down in the front.
Okay, let's head over and take comments right now. We see your comments on Facebook, also on Twitter, on YouTube, and on WhatsApp. We hope to be able to take as many of these before we wrap up. We have with us in the studio talking about road crashes and safety on the roads. Route Commander Paul Abiti, he's a Unit Protocol Officer, RS214, Lagos Island Unit Command of the FRSC. We'll give you the phone numbers right now so you can join us on the conversation.
Call us on 0127709993, 0127719993, 0127729993, and 0127739993. This is Nigeria Info. We are listening.
This is Nigeria Info. We are listening. Let's start by taking some comments on Twitter. Fola Towobola says, must all uniformed officials in this country use arms? It shows how we think. Every man seeks to oppress the other. Our administrators are dictators. They cannot formulate any law without using force. It says this is why the FRSC keeps saying enforce, enforce, enforce. Okwe Agbato on Twitter says, speeding contributes majorly to accidents. Cannot FRSC employ speed radar guns to detect speed on moving vehicles and post visible speed limits on roads? And that's really important, so that when you're on a particular road, on the Third Mainland Bridge, for instance, there's a road limit, but many people don't even pay attention to that. Right. He also says there are no published penalties on speeding recently. Rather, there was emphasis on eating and driving with one hand.
That's wrong.
Let me take this one from Facebook. Festus Okundia says FRSC would then face attacks from robbers and bandits if they start to carry guns. Some may be disarmed by robbers and take guns for use. They are free now that they don't carry arms. Adebanjo Aderinle on Facebook says, please ask the officer, is there no tag on the buses with speed limiter for passengers to know these buses without asking anybody? That's Adebanjo from
that
from
should
Facebook.
Be a display, a
Shouldn't
tag
people know already?
on the buses, so I know this bus has a
limiter.
Because if I ask you and you tell me yes, you do have a speed limiter,
I can't verify.
Actually, tag, because if such a vehicle is being installed or simulating device, there's a tag actually. Okay. The tag has been there.
Oh,
so buses, vehicles that have speed limiters have tags on them.
Yeah, fantastic. Yes.
What kind of tag is this? What does it look like?
Is it a sticker?
It's like no, it's not. It's like a certification stick, like a sticker. Yeah.
Okay.
A certification sticker.
What's written on it? How do we identify it?
No, once you see the SON, FISC, the National Automotive Council, the logos. You see the logos. They are tagged. Okay. Then the installer, the names will be there.
Okay.
Right. Let's go to the phones and get your comments. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Today you are doing a wonderful job.
We always do a wonderful job every day.
Yes,
how are you? Please tell us your name.
I believe it's today that you are doing it. The
Thank you.
One I believe I know.
Thank you. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning. My name is Mohammed. I'm calling from Dolphin Estate.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah. What I wanted to add to that, at least there is sign of that speed limit.
Okay.
The sign is, if there's speed limit there, whenever the driver switch on the ignition,
okay,
sound will come out like three times.
Okay.
The more you get into the vehicle, if the driver switch off the ignition, then the sound must, at least you must hear that sound like 2-3 times.
Okay.
That's to me, that's my own understanding.
Okay. Wow, it says there's a sound to the speed limiter. So thank you very much for calling us. Hello, good morning. Oh, okay. Try another line.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes,
good morning.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Sonny.
Welcome.
I just want to ask one question, which is giving me some concern. When road safety are doing checking on the road, you see all these downforce. Most of the cars, most of the vehicles, they don't have mirror, they don't have brake lights, but they allow them to go. But when they see car moving, they stop them, reverse, check, and all those things. So what is the rationale behind this something?
Right.
Selective enforcement.
Yeah.
Selective enforcement.
Is there selective enforcement?
There's no selective enforcement. Like last week, we conducted what we call the mobile court patrol.
Okay.
In RS 2.1 for Lagos Island Command, and just within Ikoyi here, Ikoyi VI, and the way we appear in vehicle, we don't select actually. So,
but how come Nigerians feel you? I mean,
no, we don't select.
The
truth of the matter is that there are some peculiar they are the popular danfo drivers. We normally have specific enforcement for them. They are not easily enforced. That's the truth. So
they're a unique set of people.
They are a unique set of people. And what we do is we work with the Lagos State government in the mobile courts. And last week we have that, Monday last week, precisely.
How many people were prosecuted?
We have the total number of, I think about 30. I don't have that figure. Prosecuted. Last week I was in that patrol team too. It was a special mobile court. And we do that month to month.
Right.
Not only the Danfo alone, other private vehicles were involved. They can call and testify.
Okay. Let's get back to the phones now. Good morning.
Good morning, Wemimo.
Morning.
Yeah, my name is Samuel.
Samuel, could you speak louder? You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. You see, I want to say a car is well designed. It is our own for sure. Yeah. If you enter into a car, the back door, you will see it has children lock at the back, but the front door doesn't have children lock. So the car is designed for children to sit at the back, not at the front.
Thank you.
That's true.
For please, the road safety, please, I want to speak with the road safety man there.
Please go ahead.
Please, you have to be telling our government, we don't have road. It is only in this country you will see a road that is not motorable. You will be asking them for a roadworthiness. I don't like that idea. I don't like it.
When the road is not worthy.
Right.
Thank you. It's a good point. We're working on that because we're working with the FEMA, and we have Federal Ministry of Transport. That's and you work with them. And majorly what we do, I'm an engineer. We have what we call the road safety audit.
Okay.
That's road safety audit. That's road audit that we conduct on a quarterly basis.
On a quarterly basis?
Yes, quarterly
and
basis.
what has your report shown?
Of course, we all see it. Most of the roads are, they are not too much
in bad shape.
Yes. So we submit such to the organization for the state government, that's the Lagos State Maintenance Agencies, federal. We are the FEMA too. So we do that to impress and to follow it up, such that these roads are okay. But they are not okay because engineering factor is under the road.
Yes.
It's one of the major causes too that we are facing. When it comes
in this
to
collaboration, what's a response from FEMA, from other teams? Because if the roads are bad, your job is to ensure safety on the roads. If the roads are bad, we're going to have crashes.
That's not your job.
What do you say?
If the roads are bad, definitely there will be accidents.
There will be accidents, and that we have more job to do. That's it should not help our job at all. And so that's why we don't keep quiet indeed.
All right.
The response is slow, but it's ongoing.
Okay, let's get to the phone lines.
That's right. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
God bless you.
Bless you
too. From Agbado.
You're welcome. Please go ahead with your comment.
What I want to say is that the officer in the studio will not be doing justice if he says that he doesn't know about selective enforcement.
Okay.
Because I drive on the road regularly and I see vehicles, commercial vehicles that shouldn't have any business being on the road. They don't have traffic. They don't have trafficators. They don't have their side mirrors are broken. Everything is wrong about them. And this federal road safety members, they will see them and allow them go, but just targeting cars.
All right.
Thank you very much. In fact, many people on Twitter also think the same. Let me read this out to you. Saba says FRC officials extort public bus drivers of 500 naira per trip along Abeokuta Expressway. He also says thereby allowing them free passage without checking for necessary requirement. What does he have to say about that? He's throwing that question to you. Efelenzo on Twitter also says, my question is, why is it that FRC does not check all commercial buses for driver's license, but they're quick to stop private cars for their licenses? He claims that 90% of commercial buses and cars are not roadworthy. Christian Iwanfo also thinks the same. It says 99% of commercial drivers don't have driver's licenses. 99% of commercial drivers don't use their seat belts. The FRC pays less attention on commercial drivers, but pays more attention on private drivers and the vehicles. Okay, so what do you say to this?
Yeah, thank you very much. I've been in the studio like this while drivers we call in that we concentrate more on the commercial vehicle. Why not the private vehicle?
So you see, I mean, I wish you could have commercial bus drivers also calling.
So to this now, I'm on the T judge. I don't know what to say now. But sincerely, we don't do selective driver enforcement.
Okay.
Yes, and when we are doing patrol, we have a particular number of vehicles that we can stop at a particular point. 2, depending, maybe on a squad, maybe 3. You can't expect us to stop 4 or 5 vehicles
at once.
That's
right.
So maybe at that point, when that probably particular person, that scenario, you thought, okay, we are not stopping commercial, we're stopping commercial. So we do, we balance the two.
There is a particular question that I'm sure Nigerians are wondering, whether we're gonna attempt to ask you or not, and that's about your and that's about the definition of roles between FRSC officers and the police.
Okay.
There is this argument as to who has the right to stop who, and what kind of particulars that who has the right to ask from the driver. Please expatiate further. Explain to us exactly the roles of FRSC, if you can, and the role of the police in stopping drivers and asking for particulars. Most especially.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Show me your particular.
Majorly, our roles have been kind of defined. We were with the police before now. But then when it comes to road traffic violations, that's our own concentration. We have a lot of armed robbers, stolen vehicles, on our highway today. And the police, I cannot speak for them, but then they go more in depth, into this verification. But then first, if you are a driver, what permits you to be behind the vehicle? I'm a driver. First thing first is to show that that's a certification, that's a driver's license, that you must ask it. Then the further is that to do with the vehicle papers. The police cannot ask you tires. Or let's see, can we see whether your tire is okay?
That should not ask you, because some do ask. But let's say should not ask.
No, it's not their own duty to ask you whether your tire is okay or you have extra tire. It's the work of the FRSC to do that. Or to ask you want to see your accessories, vehicle accessories. But then they will look at the papers, that's the particulars, to know, if there's a correspondence.
If you own the vehicle.
Yes, because on vehicles, they have been stolen from Abuja, and the next 48 hours, those vehicles are already in Lagos.
On the market. That's right.
We don't have any business with that, whether it's stolen or not. Okay. And that's one of the differences.
Yeah. Thanks for clarifying that. Let's get back to the phones and listen to your calls. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Charles Otta.
Welcome, Charles.
Yeah, I'm calling from Ijegu.
Okay, Charles.
I want to speak with the
go on.
Please go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Okay. There is one question I want to ask with this road safety of people.
Okay.
What is the difference between LASMA and road safety? More especially the road safety, the LASMA people. They were targeting those people that did not put seatbelt and begin to target them and see one way or the other to see that they start money from them or stop them.
Okay.
All right. So difference between LASMA. I thought this was clear, but okay. So
the LASMA is basically, before.
Coincidentally, your uniforms are, a bit similar. The top.
Before they came in, the last month, FIC, we have the we suggested that, because though every state under the concurrent list, they have the power, to have their own traffic, management team. We are the forefront that suggested, when it comes to LASMA, and we have trace in Ogun State, every other states, because federal safety definitely we may not be able to undo all the states. So what we do was to suggest, that management. So the LASMA, basically what they do is that to do with traffic management.
Okay. So you do the same thing with LASMA?
No. the last man, traffic management, they don't have they don't have any issue with asking for people having tires or thereabout.
Okay.
They don't.
Okay.
So all what they basically, is for traffic control.
Oh.
And to ensure, total, no obstruction. Majorly, on
traffic management.
Just traffic
solely.
management.
Solely, yeah. That's what the last mile is all about.
Okay, we have more conversations on this, but we must go now. Thank you very much for joining us on the show today. Route Commander Paul Abeti is a Unit Protocol Officer, RS214, Lagos Island Unit Commander of the FRSC. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you, Wemimo and the Sheriff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nigeria, we must. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. We've been live on Facebook and Twitter. That means if you missed any part of this conversation, you can watch it all over again anytime you like online. Thank you all for joining the show today. Big thanks to Tosi Akinride, Yvonne Ohefo, and also Zainab Yakin for assisting on the show. After the break, we bring in the news, and Tuji Andrews will be here with money, business, and economy. We will see you again tomorrow morning.
That's right.
I'm Wemimo Adewuni.
And I'm Sheriff Quadry.